Hello. All right. So Yaya here. Hey, Joni, give you some tarot guidance. And I am going live today for the first time with this Tarot Tuesday. So I'm double checking to see if anybody is needing help to get on. And I'm double checking how I'm planning to let this go. So our Tarot Tuesdays will consist of a guided message for the week, followed by a short meditation so we can ground and focus before starting our day. And I am going to be offering guidance. So I'm going to do one of my normal story spreads. And the intention with this one is that it will help you to know how your week is going to go, how to prepare, what kind of things you might need to focus on. And then it will also be able to, I can also do messages for people singly. So if you want 24 hours, at least 24 hours before I do this event, each Tuesday at 9:30 a.m., I can tune in and I can answer your questions specifically with some of the time that I have allotted, because I figure I can do this in about the story spread for everybody in general can be about 10-15 minutes, giving you a little bit of information about the tarot and how I use it, and answering your questions can be the rest of the time. So allow yourself to think about that for the next time. And I believe that is targeting everything that I wanted to target, right? Yes. So Yaya here. I'm going to get started. And I feel like there's a little bit of a glare for y'all. So if it is, I'm sorry. I'm going to figure out how to do better and how to learn how to work with it. But it's all touch and go, right? We have to learn as we go. So today I'm going to shuffle the cards, and it is Tuesday, the 16th of June. And I'm asking the cards for guidance for anybody that watches this specific series with me, that they get guidance from these cards, right? So allow yourself to think about that. I'm going to shuffle 2 more times. And just whenever you're tuning in, it's really important for you to center yourself and to open up space to ask for guidance for yourself as well. That always helps the cards come through and kind of give you the meanings or the messages that they're meant to. I'll cut my deck now 3 times. So there's already some indecision about acting in authority and feeling anxious, right? So to find abundance, that's wonderful in the next week. Looking for abundance, getting abundance, finding abundance is going to be part of what the next week holds in store for us. So that's always lovely, right? The Strength card comes up next. Now, the Strength card is a card that generally represents being able to recognize that strength isn't just that brute force, but it's also that soft side that is very wise and strong. And so there's 2 different sides of that. When we recognize that sometimes both of those have to be used, right? So we have to allow ourselves time to be able to truly discern which of those we're supposed to be following forward with our own path, and recognize that sometimes we might use the brute strength when we were supposed to use the soft strength, or vice versa. Now, the next card that comes up for you, yay, the 10 of Hearts. Y'all, get out there and spend some time with some of those people that you hold dear this week. The 10 of Hearts represents success, so that's always a wonderful thing. We've got abundance and success this week. I'm excited. Okay, so the 10 of Hearts represents success. It also represents being able to find those people in the world that you truly connect with. So spend some time within the next week with one of those people that you really connect with, because it is important for us to be able to fuel ourselves whenever we're feeling drained. And one of the amazing ways that we can fuel ourselves is by connecting with those people. All right. Now, the next card that comes up is, the 8 of Hearts. All right. So some sacrifices this week, y'all. We are going to have some disappointments. We have to recognize that in moments of growth, it isn't always easy to let go of the things that we need to let go of, right? But this card tells you that whenever we have too much emotional involvement in a situation or a relationship where it is truly affecting us in a way that isn't beneficial for our health and our well-being, that's body, mind, and spirit. So it's not just somebody that makes you angry, right? It can be, but it can be all sorts of things where you are sacrificing yourself to please someone else. So this card likes to remind you that it is time to let go of that and put yourself in the seat, put yourself in the priority zone. I've been telling a lot of people that. So if you have to leave something behind, for instance, some plans that we have that come to our minds, we go forth with them, we give them all we got, and then it doesn't come back to us, or it doesn't feel like it's working the way that we hoped it would. Now, sometimes we're meant to fight through it, and sometimes we're meant to sacrifice it and letting go. And only we can find out which one of those it is, right? When hopefully the cards can help you determine which of that is. Oh, and new perspectives. The Hanged Man. Oh, I love the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man talks about when you recognize some of those sacrifices you need to make, that you need to allow yourself to open up, right? Look at the world from a different view, try to see it in a way that has a different light, and notice the things that come up. New perspectives bring new insights that bring new challenges, new choices, and things for you to do. So it is always good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So now we've got, oh boy, y'all, we just got all kinds of funky cards today, huh? Sacrifice and perspectives, and now the Tower, and this is mounting pressures. The Tower represents something's got to give somewhere. At some point, the straw breaks the camel's back, right? And that's what this card represents. This card represents that there are things in our lives that we allow to affect us, and those things that cause us to lash out, those things that cause us to act forcefully, those things that cause us just to react, or those things that we are not reacting about, that we are kind of holding in, we are kind of wanting to say something, but we don't. Something's got to give somewhere. Either we're putting too much out there and everybody else is getting upset with us and we're fixing to cause a big explosion, or we're holding everything in and everybody else is upsetting us and we're going to cause the explosion. Which one of those sides on that are you on in this point? And what area of your life are you finding that at this point, right? Now, the next card that comes up, oh, the 6 of Hearts. This is great. I love it when this comes up with the 10 of Hearts, because as I was telling you, the 10 of Hearts represents finding those people that you can connect with, knowing that success is in your near future, feeling good about that, right? We can feel successful in so many areas of our life. The 6 of Hearts talks about joy. It talks about feeling nostalgic, being reminded of something that makes you think about your childhood or makes you think about a wonderful experience you've had recently. And it is talking about being able to see that side of the world. So again, with the Hanged Man, when we allow ourselves to start seeing the world with a different perspective, we might even be able to start seeing it from a child's point of view. And when you think of how children look at things in the world, it's that they can do what they can do. And it's amazing to see how resilient a child can be. So that is reminding you, when this card comes up, it reminds you to pay attention to those things that remind you of childhood friends. Pay attention to those things that bring you that joy, but you start to find this little nugget in the back of your head saying, well, you can't do that. That's not something you can do. But remember, childlike point of view, you can do anything you want to do. There are many ways to do the things that you want to do. The 6 of Hearts. Now, next is the Queen of Pentacles. This is a wonderful card because she is disciplined and abundant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 2 more cards. The Queen of Pentacles. She is one that comes in to remind you, and she might remind you of someone in the next week, but she likes to, so she's authoritative, right? Queen. She acts with authority, she acts with confidence, and she also recognizes or appreciates other people's experiences and pays attention to other people's experiences in the areas of where they need support. So you think of like that motherly figure in your life. The Queen of the Suits typically can represent somebody like that, somebody that you can look up to. And she reminds you to be aware of emotional securities for people, not emotional securities, structural securities, emotional financial securities, not just like in the heart realm, but stability, structure. And how does she help them? Well, she helps them just by listening. She helps them by being able to offer something to them as an idea to be able to move forward with, or by actually offering support. So she could be somebody in your life that is very supportive of what you're doing. She could be somebody in your life that comes and sees you every week for whatever it is that you do. Maybe you work in the restaurant and she comes and sees you every week or every 2 weeks. And so she can definitely represent somebody in your life. She can also just represent that this is an area that we want to focus on in the next week. We want to focus on being more generous with our support in the sense of recognizing what everybody else is going through in the realm of financial security, stability, and structure. Two more cards. Oh, the Five of Hearts, y'all. This card is sometimes sad. So the Five of Hearts is a card that represents disappointment. Now, the disappointment that comes from this can be a number of different things. So as you see in the card, it does show a woman and then the man in the back, and it shows a couple of broken hearts. Oh, makes it hard, right? So sometimes this card comes up to represent that there are competing sources out there in relationships and things like that, or jobs or other areas of your life. So when you feel disappointed, or if you already feel disappointed, it's really important to make an effort to start working towards healing, right? We can feel disappointed and we can start to heal. We have the ability to be able to hold space for both of those, so we can help ourselves get past the hump of it. Again, with that Queen of Pentacles that might be there for as a shoulder for you to talk about what's going on. So be kind. Remember to pay attention, because things bloom again. Things come back to us, the ebbs and flows of life. The King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands is the last card of the spread, and of course, that anxiety that I talked about at the beginning. The King of Wands is fire, all fire, action, and again, authority, right? So remember those hierarchy cards. Those are going to be the authority figures. Those are going to be the people that have the power. Those are the people that have the strength and the confidence and the discipline to do what is needing to be done. So in the fiery suit, it's talking about taking power, or taking, what's the word that I'm looking for? Cultivating where power and pride are concerned in your life. It is important for us to feel powerful in the presence that we inhabit. And it's important for us to have pride in the people, the person that we are, the family that we have, the people that we surround ourselves with, the way that our world is, right? Finding things that we can feel powerful in and finding things that we can be proud of is what this card represents. And it is fiery. So remember, the fiery suit typically will tell you don't rush into anything too quickly because you feel so passionate about it. It is wonderful to feel passionate about something and to want to get out there and do something. But sometimes we can act from a place of that fire and end up finding that, again, with those mounting pressures, I find that we end up messing up, but messing out in a we wouldn't have, or acting too quickly, and maybe there were some other parts of the story that we needed to be that needed light shed on it, so that way we could make a more developed decision, right? So that's what Wands typically presents. Again, with those hierarchies, you can be aware that some people that represent them or feel like they have some of those characteristics can be somebody that you meet in the next week that could potentially bring you into some new opportunities in that realm. Remember, the wands are all about fire, action. They talk about possible changes of jobs and ideas and being creative and finding things that you enjoy in life. So you never know. I hope that you enjoyed your Tarot Tuesday today. I am going to offer up a small meditation now. We would like to set tall and strong. I am going to tell you briefly. Right. Align the shoulders over the hips as much as you can. And this is just going to be a little 8 breath. Now, my 8 breaths are typically 4 counts in and 4 counts out with a couple counts in between. So know that how many ever breaths you take is fine, but allow yourself to really just deepen the breath, clear the mind, and sit tall and strong, all right? Wherever you are, reaching the crown of the head, imagining that you are opening a channel for you to receive the guidance that you need, and these cards helped you to targeting the areas of focus for this week, right? Allowing yourself to breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Abundance is in our upcoming week. Abundance is found in so many areas of our lives. Let go of tension, let go of worry, and have gratitude for the abundance that you can recognize in your life right now. What are you grateful for in this moment? Now allow yourself to think of things that you know that may cause you some self to visit areas of your life and to look at the world from a different perspective, to find abundance in this situation, in this experience that you are anticipating, anxious about. With this new perspective and find abundance again. How can you start tuning that attention back inward to give yourself the love that you've been giving all of these projects, all of these experiences that you have? Shed some light that back to you. And then finally becoming aware of the experiences around you as they come up this week. Allow you to pay attention to those that need your support, and taking heed to those that might be offering guidance in the sense of creativity, power, and pride, and fire. We'll begin our 8 deep breaths here. And slowly we'll bring those hands together to complete our guided meditation, allowing ourselves to focus on those things this week and seeing how that goes, and maybe tuning in next week. I would love to hear how the spread spoke to you, if it spoke to you. I would love to hear your tips. What's the word that I'm feedback? Feedback on how this is. I do intend to get it a little bit more. I feel like you can't really see me that well, but maybe you can. And other things that you might want to know about. The reasons that I use the tarot, I didn't have anybody ask any questions today. So, oh wait. Uh, uh, okay, that's a heavy question. So I do have a question. I don't know if you're still there, but that is tricky. So if you are really wanting to know that, I want to tell you that the cards can always change, right? So typically, whenever I'm finding guidance for a question on that, or like that, like a yes. Oh. So the cards do suggest that you can go to heaven, since that was the question that you asked. Now, so I asked the card if you were going to heaven, and the judgment card comes up. The completion card comes up. The Four of Wands represents like coming to the end of a big job or a big decision. And the Eight of Wands comes up, which represents following signals and seeing the signs that are there. The Judgment card represents being able to recognize that there is big change in your life that needs to be made. And this big change, you may or may not already know it. The Princess of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. Now, that card represents getting some new information and getting some new guidance and how you can move to initiate or to bring about this yes that the cards are giving you right now. So a long-term decision needs to be made by you to be able to accomplish that which you seek. So I don't feel like there's ever like a for sure yes or no to a lot of questions, especially ones like that. And that's because every day we make new decisions. Every day we have the ability to start new. And every day internally, only we know what's really going on, right? So the reasons, if there are any other questions, I will still be here for a few minutes. The reasons that I like to use the tarot for me specifically and giving guidance to other people is that I find a lot of beautiful messages from it, which generally are already messages that internally I think I kind of already know. And so when I get the guidance, oh, yeah, I should work on that today. I should totally get that done this week. It's kind of like, okay, well, thank you. I definitely just needed that clarification that this is where I need to work on versus this. As people that have a whole lot on our plate, it's important that we be into the things that are going to feed us, as well as the things that take our energy to put out there into the world. Because some of our energy feeds us. Some of the things that we do automatically start feeding us back, but a lot of the things we do don't. So, and it's a lot of how we look at it too. So, but the reasons that I use it is because it just helps me to get some more of that clarification that I need when I'm in an area of life or when I'm having an experience that I kind of want to know a little bit more about, or I want to get a little bit of clarification on why it keeps coming to me, or how I can move forward in a certain area. And for now, what's stopping you? What's stopping you? Maybe some hurtful words and not trusting in the signals and not believing that you're protected. So move forward with feeling like that. And I am here if you want to give a call to get a more in-depth reading. So please feel free. And I hope that y'all have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. I will be back next week. Remember, if you want to send me some questions, I'm happy to answer those during the question, as well as through the chat option that is available if I have time to be able to do so. So thank you so much for tuning in to TuneinYaYa for Tarot Tuesdays. That's a mouthful. TuneinYaYa for Tarot Tuesdays. Tune in to TuneinYaYa for Tarot Tuesdays. I swear I've had my coffee this morning and it probably didn't have an effect on me. I wouldn't have had to have my coffee to start with the tongue twister or to end with the tongue twister. I hope you have a great day and thank you for joining in, and namaste.